Hello everyone. Welcome to All Bible Prophecy Fulfilled. This is number 21 in our series titled 10 Kings and the Little Horn of Daniel 7. You can find this document in our website or contact us. A major hurdle in dealing with this text is identifying who the saints are. From Israel's perspective, the whole of the chosen people were saints, that is ethnic Israel, but then in Daniel's vision, the saints sometimes appear to pertain to the remnant, a subset of ethnic Israel. It would be like calling all people in a classroom students, even though some never study. But then you can also call the subset who study the students. We believe the word saints is used similarly in Daniel 7. Ethnic Israel was called saints, but the subset of Israel who was devoted to Yahweh or Messiah were called saints. Most ethnic Israel saints were caught up in the war and victimized by the zealots. But the remnant saints who had suffered persecution by the Jews for their faith were vindicated by the war. Once we have that figured out, we will not be thrown off by what appear to be contradictory destinies of the saints in this vision. Another major hurdle is identifying the 10 kings. Some commentators believe the 10 kings were Roman generals or client kings or provinces of Rome because they were horns on the head of the fourth beast, which they believe was the Roman Empire. But we find no credible evidence for 10 of anything in connection with the Roman Empire at the time of the Jewish conflict. We believe the beast was zealot-led Israel, which ended up destroying itself, not without Roman help, of course. Josephus specifically named 10 Jewish generals, primarily of the elite class, who took command to execute the war against Rome in the various regions of Israel. Even though they fought against Rome, they promoted Rome's dominion over the Promised Land by igniting conflict with the empire, sacrificing the lives of its people and giving Rome its wealth and people as slaves. The elaborate Colosseum, for example, was built with the riches taken from Israel. Daniel states that 3 of the kings were fallen. Josephus reports, specifically, that 3 of the generals of the original 10 were murdered by the degenerate and more powerful zealot factions. It fits with covenantal history that Daniel, as a Jew, would make mention of these 3 fallen Jewish generals. The little horn is fairly easily seen as the godless rabble of zealots, the lawless ones, who had huge egos and cruelty to match and took over the execution of the war. There are 10 kings referenced in Revelation, and we believe they are the same 10 kings as in Daniel. In Revelation chapter 17, verse 16, however, it states that the 10 kings hate the harlot which was Jerusalem. But the 10 Jewish generals were presumably fighting to preserve the harlot. However, it goes on to say that the 10 horns made the harlot desolate and naked, and they ate her flesh and burned her with fire. Well, this is true. Those Israelites who fought against Rome enabled the stripping of her land, her extensive wealth, and the lives of her people, with famine, slavery, and vast numbers of dead. Here we see the greater picture, the supernatural foreknowledge of these events. Prophecy proves the identity of the God who knows the end from the beginning. We need to reiterate that prophecies of the Old Testament must have been fulfilled before the Old Covenant passed away. If there are prophecies in the Old Testament that must still be fulfilled, then we cannot be in the New Covenant. In Matthew 5, verse 17 and 18, Jesus said that not even one smallest letter or one tiny pen stroke could pass away from the law and the prophets, until all was fulfilled. But we are, indeed, in the New Covenant and all, indeed, has been fulfilled. Thank you for listening, and please join us in the next video. Shalom.